How do you manage time during a talk or a presentation or speech? Well, you don't. You manage only yourself and not time, because time management is a myth. Hi, my name is Parul Banka. I am a public speaking coach. I transform professionals into terrific storytellers. In this video, I want to share with you how you can manage yourself to make sure that your speeches and presentations are timed appropriately. I had attended a workshop on time management way back in the year 2005, and this was my biggest takeaway from that workshop. You only manage yourself because you cannot manage time. Since then, as far as time management is concerned, I have not struggled, mostly. You've got to apply the same concept when it comes to public speaking. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a checklist that is going to help you do that. The first question that you've got to ask is, how much time do you have? Do not assume as a speaker. Ask. If they say 5 minutes, respect it and keep your talk to 5 minutes. A few years ago, I had applied for a job interview. I really wanted that job. It was a very detailed presentation I had to make as part of the recruitment process. And as soon as I had started speaking, the interviewer had actually turned on the stop clock. I had 20 minutes to do the presentation, and as soon as the clock showed 20, they asked me to stop. In real life situations, you can find yourself in scenarios where you are not given even 5 or 10 seconds extra. You've got to make sure that within the time allocated to you, you are able to get your message across. It is really, really critical. But how? Well, this is where you need to plan for your session. Be ruthless about what and how much will make the cut. Do you remember many years ago when smartphones and digital cameras were not in vogue? We used to have those old cameras which required rolls to be put in, the film rolls. And in those days, we would be very, very particular about what picture we were clicking, what frame we were clicking. Unlike now, when we can actually take 10 clicks for the same photograph, for the same scenery, for the same picture. Why? Because you can do it. You're not really spending extra money. Let's say you go on a holiday and you end up clicking 400, 500 pictures on a day. When you come back, you've got to be really ruthless about what you retain and what you drop out. When I come back from a holiday, I'm really ruthless about the pictures that would really make the cut. So you may have a lot of information, but you've got to really decide what you're going to retain. Number 3, understand what your normal pace is. And this applies to recorded videos. It also applies to Facebook Live or YouTube Live. You will know your normal pace only when you do speaking a few times. There is no other way. Either learn live or practice. How long you take to deliver how much content is defined by how quickly or how slow you speak. That's the pace of your talk. I've seen some people who are really resistant to understanding this aspect. How quickly, how fast, or how slow they speak. But the fact is that if you do not have a hang of what your pace is, you will never really know, because there's no other way to find out. You've got to actually do it as if it is real. Why? Because your pace will differ accordingly. Let me share with you an example. Let's say while I'm recording this video, I have the entire script written in front of me. I've planned what I'm going to speak on this video. And before the video, I just go through the entire script in my head. I don't really speak it out. I don't do it. There is always a significant difference in thinking through the script and actually doing it. After you have done it a few times, you will get a hang of how much you speak in how much time. But unless you do that, you won't have an idea. You won't have a clue. You may actually be in situations where you think you're rushing too fast, and you would end up finishing your presentation much before the end point. Or the opposite. Doing it is the only way to find out. And the final point, don't waste your time. I want to share an example from something I experienced in a recent Facebook group. I'm part of a Facebook group wherein we do live promos for our work and business. It's a great thing to do. The challenge is that we have got to keep it under 2 minutes. Now, there's so many videos I see, so many people going live. Well, 2 minutes is what? 120 seconds, 120 seconds only. That's the time we are supposed to keep. And there are people who would take as much as 20 seconds, 30 seconds to even start sharing their content. Somebody would talk about the weather, they would just be a bit jittery, and I get it. Nerves is a part of public speaking. But what you've got to consider as a speaker is, if you take as much as, let's say, 20 seconds or 30 seconds out of 120 seconds that you have wasted a significant portion of the allocated time. Have you ever sat in a workshop, let's say a day-long workshop, and you're expecting that the workshop would finish at 4 o'clock in the evening or 4:30 in the evening? You have started early, well, on time at 9 o'clock. 9 to 4:30 is the time, and just when 4:30 is approaching, the presenter says,
"Can we extend the workshop for another 15 minutes?
And most of the people tend to say,
Yeah.
But you know what? As the workshop presenter, it's not the right thing to do. Why? Because you've had the entire day to run the session within the stipulated time. The reason why they need 15 minutes is not because there is more content to be shared, but because they didn't manage their time properly. Or rather, they didn't manage themselves properly. When you are scheduled for a presentation or a talk or a speech, whatever form of public speaking it is, whether it is 5 minutes or 15 minutes, half an hour, a day long, or a workshop running over several days, make sure that you stick to the timeline. And I would say that you straight away launch into the workshop. You straight away launch into the speech, irrespective of how long you have to run that presentation or speech or workshop. Don't waste time when you're standing on the stage. Why waste it? Just make use of it. Get on with it. So I hope this video gave you some ideas on how you can manage yourself in specific reference to preparing for a speech or a presentation.